everyone, Marge here. If this is your first time coming across the channel, I warmly welcome you and I hope you subscribe as there is a lot to learn here. In today's tutorial, I want us to make this beautiful double-sided card holder. It's very easy, so grab your tools and materials and let's get beading. You need some beads. These are size 8 beads. You can use any color. You also need some fishing line 0.6. You also need a cutter or a scissors and a magnetic clasp. So to proceed, you cut a new fishing line, cut long enough, and string 4 beads. And then you cross into the 4th one with the other side of the fishing line. We are going to use 2 methods. This is the first one. We are only going to crisscross, okay? And then I'm going to show you a second method, which is the knotting, okay? So this one that we just did is crossing. So you fix one on the left, one on the right, and you go ahead and fix one again, all right? And then with that same side of the fishing line, you bend it and then enter into the bead, okay? Creating a loop like so, and then you pull it down, okay? That's how it looks like when you make the loop. You pull it down to where the beads are, okay, to the middle. And then with the other side of the fishing line, you can go through the loop from the front or the back, okay? So whichever side it's okay. With that fishing line, you go through and then you pull. So by so doing, we are going to create a knot, okay? So you see, we are going to hide the knot in the middle bead, all right? As you can see, I want to give you a better view, okay? So this is how the knot looks like, and then we push it down, all right? So this is the second method. So if this is too complicated for you, you can use the first method, which we did, okay? So you fix one on the left, one on the right, and then you fix one on the left again, and then we make a loop. You bend the fishing line and then enter that same bead, all right? And then you pull it down, and then with the other side of the fishing line, you enter, and then we go ahead and push it all the way down, and then we make our knot in the middle bead, okay? You pull, so the knot is hidden, all right? So basically, that is what we are going to be doing. So this method is just to tighten up our work or to make it firm or steady, okay? So if it's difficult for you, you can just go ahead and crisscross. It's all the same, all right? But I'll just be knotting mine, okay? So you fix one on the left, one on the right, and then you fix one again, and then you make your loop. And basically, that is all we are doing. We want to make 9 of the rings, okay? We want to make 9. So just keep repeating the steps until you've made 9, okay? So I think this is 8. Yes, this is 8. So we are going to make the 9th one. So you go ahead and fix 3 beads on the left-hand side because we want to start building on the mat, okay? So you fix 3 and then we loop. You enter with the other side of the fishing line and then you pull and you make your knot, okay? So we are going to build up. So on the left-hand side, we want to extend that side. So on the left-hand side, you fix 3 and you go ahead. You can either crisscross or you make your loop and you knot. All right. With the right fishing line, you enter the next bead on the right. You take your time, all right? And then on the left, you fix 2 beads. And then you loop or you cross with the right fishing line. You enter the next bead with the right fishing line. So basically, you are going to be repeating the steps. So I want you to keep weaving till you get to the last but one bead, okay? So we don't want to prolong the video because this tutorial is very, very simple. So welcome back, guys. I've gotten to the last but one, so let's complete it together. You fix 2 and then you loop, and then you go ahead and enter with the right fishing line and you make your knot. You enter with the right fishing line, and this time you're going to flip the mat to the other side for easy handling, and then you fix 2 to finish off the second row. So we want to make 16, okay? So we want to keep building, all right? So you see we have 9, the length is 9, so with the height we want to make 16. So we want to build up, all right? So we continue, we fix 3 on the left, so this is how you build up on your mat, okay? You fix 3 and then you loop, you enter with the right fishing line and you make a knot. You enter with the right fishing line and then you fix 2 on the left and then you cross or you loop. All right? You take your time with it. So as you can see, this part is very easy, okay? So I've just weaved some of the mat off camera. We want to make 16 on that side, okay? And then we have 9 as the length, okay? So this is what I made off camera. I want you to follow the steps from the beginning, okay? And then weave a bigger mat, which is going to be 9 by 16, all right? So follow the procedure from the beginning and make a bigger mat, 9 by 16, 9 on the shorter end and then 16 on the longer end, okay? And then you're going to make another mat which is 9 by 6, and then you make another 9 by 6, okay? So you have to make 3 of these mats. So basically all that we are going to do is we are going to join the smaller mats, we are going to attach it to the bigger one, all right? I'm sure by now you get the whole thing, all right? So this is what we are going to do. You cut a new fishing line, all right? You fix 1 bead, and then you enter with one side of the fishing line. You enter the first bead on the side, okay? You enter that bead. You make sure you're entering from where there is 6, okay? And then you see this is what we have. And with that same fishing line, we are going to enter the 6th bead, okay? We count and then we enter the 6th bead, okay? So we are going to fix another bead on any side of the fishing line. Please make sure the ends are equal. The ends of the fishing line are equal. So you see, we have that single bead in the middle, all right? So you make sure you count 1 to 6 and then you enter the 6th bead. So you fix 1 bead again and then you cross. So that single bead, you can fix it on any side of the fishing line. All right, so this is what we have. So with each side of the fishing line, we are going to enter 1 bead on each side. So you enter 1 on this side, and then with the other side, you enter 1 bead. So you make sure you count, okay? You fix 1 bead and then you cross. Beautiful. tighten up nicely. You can either crisscross or you can knot, okay? It's up to you. So you enter one bead each, all right? The other side you enter one bead as well. And then you go ahead and fix one bead on any side of the fishing line and you cross or you knot, okay? So these steps we are going to repeat throughout, all right? You enter one bead on each side of the fishing line, and now that side you enter one bead as well. You fix one and you cross or you knot. Beautiful. So I'm sure by now you see what we are doing. So we want to seal 3 parts, okay? We want to seal that part also and seal that part. We are not going to seal that part. It's going to serve as the opening. So we are only sealing 3 parts, okay? So this is it. I have made mine off camera, okay? So you repeat the steps and seal up yours, okay? So I've got one more to go. So I'll still go ahead and then make my loop and then I'll finish it off, okay? So you're basically going to repeat these same steps for the other side. So now I want you to, with the remaining fishing line, I want you to go through as many beads as you can, okay? To secure your work. You have to do this. This part is very important. If not, all the work you have done will be waste, okay? You have to secure your work. So enter as many beads as you can. So with each side of the fishing line, you go through, some beads, and then with this side also you go. So now it's time to make it for this side. So you count and then you enter the 6th bead, okay? So we are going to leave 4 beads in the middle. So you fix one bead and then you pick the smaller mat. Okay, so please pay attention to where that is where we are going to start from. All right, we enter just one bead. All right, and then we make sure the ends of the fishing line are equal. All right, so we will still go ahead and fix one bead and cross. So basically this is all we are doing. You enter one bead on each side of the fishing line and then you fix one and you cross. So keep weaving till you complete yours, all right? So you enter one bead each with each side of the fishing line, you fix one and you cross. So we've come to almost the end of this project, okay? So it is now time to fix our magnetic lock, okay? So we are going to fix it on both sides of our mats, all right? So I'm going to show you, we are going to count 1, 2, 3, and then 4, okay? You count from top. So you cut a new fishing line, all right? And from that side, you make sure you are working in the middle bead, which is the 5th bead, okay? So we are going to cut a new fishing line and then we go through the 4th bead from the top, all right? And then we introduce our clasp. So 1, 2, 3, and that's the 4th one, okay? So we are going to work within those four beads, okay? So you go through each side, okay, from the back, and you repeat same for this side also, all right? So this is what we have, you see? And then you cut another fishing line, and then you go through the 5th bead, all right? I'm just going to use my crochet pin to pull out the fishing line. I'm going to go through that side from the back, and then I'll repeat the same for this side also. So basically we are just working in that 4 beads, okay, on the 4th row. Beautiful. So with each side of the fishing line, we go through that bead that I've just pointed, the bead facing down, we go through that bead. And then with the other side, we go through that bead as well. You take your time as it's a bit sketchy. Don't rush. We go through that bead with that side of the fishing line. All right. So this is where your crochet pin comes in handy, okay? So you pull. I'm just going to, you see the fishing line is in those 2 beads. I'm going to flip my mat, and then with the other 2 sides, I'm going to go through 2 beads. The 2 beads facing down. I go through that one with the left, and then I go through the other with the right. You pull like so, you see? And then with the other side, I go through that bead as well. So when you do this, I'm going to show you 2 methods that you can use to secure your work, okay, your magnetic lock, sorry. And so with the other side, you see now the fishing line is in 2 beads, all right? So with one side of the fishing line, you're going to go through that bead, okay? You're going to go through that bead, and we are going to make a knot, okay? We are going to make a knot in there. We are going to make a knot. So this is the first one. You make a knot, okay? And then after you've made the knot, you hide the knot in one of the beads, okay? We've made our first one. We are making the second one. You make sure you pull tight, okay? And then you pass the fishing line through a couple more beads, okay, to secure it, and then you trim off, all right? And then this second step also, you can decide not to make a knot, but then you can go through as many beads as you can to secure it, okay? And it's also fine, all right? So you can make a knot, or you can use this second method by going through as many beads as you can, okay? So we are going to fix it for this side. Make sure that side is facing up, all right? And then we are going to, so this is how it's going to look like. We are going to count again. You make sure you are working in the 5th bead, okay? So you go through the 4th row, okay? The 5th bead, that one, all right? So you count 1, 1, okay? 2, and then 3. We are going to work in that one. So it's still going to be the 4th bead from top, okay? So we are going to repeat the same steps as we did for the first one. We are going to repeat the same steps. So you cut another fishing line, and then you go through that bead. We are working within those 4 beads, okay? So this is how it's going to look like, all right? You enter from the back, all right? So you are going to repeat the steps for the first one onto this part as well. You make sure the ends are equal, all right? And then with that one, you go through from the back, you repeat it for the other side, and then with each side, you see. So this is how it is looking. You go through those 2 beads with each side of the fishing line. Okay, that is what you do, and then you go in downwards. All right, so you see, this is how it is looking like. And then you flip your work, and you, with each side of the fishing line, you go through those 2 beads. Okay, just as we did for the first one. And just as we did, you can either make a knot when you enter, or you can, so this is it. All right, you can make a knot, or you go through as many beads as you can. You can even go through as many beads and come to the back and go through more beads. Okay, it also helps to firm up your work. Okay, not only to secure, but it tightens up your work. So we have completed. I've trimmed off nicely. I have secured mine, and this is the end. Okay, so you see, it is very secure. It is very tight. All right, I just want to demonstrate and show you our work is looking so pretty already. All right, so this is it. Congratulations if you've come this far. All right, so I want to make a little handle for my card holder. Okay, so you cut a new fishing line. Before I do that, let me show you. So this is how you fit your card in. So it goes in. So this can take as many cards, it can take up to, say, 7 to 10 cards on one side. So it's very spacious. So we are going to create a little handle. I don't have enough beads, so we'll manage what I have, just for teaching purposes. Okay, so you cut a new fishing line, and then you enter those 2 beads. All right, and then you fix 15 on each side of the fishing line, and then you go ahead and make a knot. Make sure the knot is very tight. Okay, you make another one. All right, you tighten up. All right, tighten up so that it doesn't fall apart. All right, so we are going to pass the remaining fishing line through the rest of the beads. All right, I'm hiding my knot in that bead. Okay, I like to hide my knots to make the work very neat. Okay, so you pull tight, and then now all you have to do is pass the remaining fishing line through a couple of beads. Okay, and then you trim off nicely. So you see what I have. All right, my card holder is complete, and congratulations if you got this far. Okay, so this is the end result. All right, and I'm sure you followed through, and you've also made yours. So I just want to say that thank you so much for coming this far with me. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and please like the video. Don't just watch, please like, and also leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this tutorial. Okay, and I'm also on Instagram at Match Crystals. You can connect with me there. And please share the video, because the more you share, the more it will get out there. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.